It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get, too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Yeah. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Ooh. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the Jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my Jag talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. With a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When the check missed the direct hit, I'm sad. Like, who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Ooh, why you do that like that? It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get, too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Ready? Get ready. Check, 59. Watch the curl. Ready?
They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And an alley to run. There he goes left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 78 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
First down, Cowboys.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Now a man who played his final season at nearby Rutgers, it's Gus Edwards. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
Right back to him on first down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. Foyesade Aluakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down now, it's Edwards. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Operating from the gun, Henry. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They'll run out of the gun here, Williams. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Check.
On second down, Williams. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
8. 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Check. Check right.
From the gun on third down, Newton. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 20.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Mike, 55. Hey! Mike, on the ball. You got tight right there. Check.
On second down, it's Williams. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Touchdown, Giants! DK Metcalf. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. The fly route works for the TD Graham.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
This one taken from the 7. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
At their own 34-yard line.
Come on,
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lock behind it. Wow. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for them and shot for them. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
Here we go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
SOS.
Gun.
SOS.
Express. I got it. Bang, 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 bang.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
That's it. 180. All day, baby, all day. Switch. Gun.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
Hey! Check, 55, 26. Check, 55 to Mike.
On 2nd and 7, Newton will find Metcalf. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Out from the shadows of their goal line. Here's 1st and 10 from the 11.
Let's put that team on the bus.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 17, Newton into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Going to give this time to the tailback. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. The Cowboys on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Let's go, D.
From the gun, Henry. They shakes him off. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
A first scoring update now from Carolina. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Watch the run.
From the gun on 3rd down. Newton. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the feet, into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the gun on 3rd down, Henry. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Watch out for Hill on the return. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
I said it, let's go. Mark 54. Hey, tight. Charlie.
Mike 5-4.
Check it out.
Operating from the gun. Henry flushed out right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
Derrick Henry. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Derrick Henry. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
At their own 25-yard line.
Set,
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Again, it's Henry. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
55's my guy.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. It's Williams on the catch. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
I'm coming.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Watch the pass.
From the gun, Henry. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
That's where you belong.
Leighton Vander Esch on the tackle. A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 9.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Giants on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Cam fakes the give and keeps it. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. They'll get 7 out of it, but it brings up a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Now, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
2nd and 11 at the 29-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And a give this time to the tailback. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. To rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Out of the gun, Newton. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. Then he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he'll give it here to his running back. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And down right around the 37. 27 yards there, a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Edwards. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Line of scrimmage is the 8 on 2nd and 8. Newton's going to throw it. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. Williams loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. Going deep here for Allen. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw is Newton. And an alley to run. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Here's Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And